Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. There are two names that constantly come in the books of history, written especially by those people who live in the subcontinent of India. And these two names are of Sarbatak. He is an emperor, or he is rather a king, or in the local language called Raja, of a place called Qanuj. And another one is Ratan Hindi. Both of these names come in the books of history, especially written in the Indian subcontinent, and the claims are put forth that these two people who used to live in India traveled all the way to Arabian Peninsula and accepted Islam at the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Medina or Mecca, and one of them have traveled several times. So they are companions of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, how much truth there is to these claims is what we would like to look at today. What historians say, what Muslim historians say about these two individuals. One is Sarbatak, who is the king of Qanuj, and the other one is Ratan Hindi. Now, as far as Sarbatak is concerned, or Raja, he's a king, Sarbatak is concerned, Hafiz ibn Hajar Asqalani rahimahullah in Al-Isaba writes about him that there is a narration that Sarbatak himself narrates about his journey. We're going to look at a little bit more detail, okay? So let me first bring the narration to you, and then I'm going to talk about the authenticity of this narration. That Sarbatak himself narrates that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent three companions. One was Huzaifa, another one was Usama, and the third one was Suhaib. So probably it is Huzaifa ibn al-Yaman, Usama ibn Zayd, and Suhaib al-Rumi. These three people were sent, and they were sent with a message from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to this individual by the name of Sarbatak. And upon receiving the letter of the Prophet, he accepted Islam. But if you look at Ibn Hajar Asqalani rahimahullah, and if you look at Hafiz al-Dhahabi rahimahullah, they said that this narration, there is no proof, there is no tasrih, there is no authenticity to this particular narration. And this is probably an assumption that he might be that king that might have sent Zanjabil to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when we look at the earlier history, or we look at the Arab historians, or those who have done extensive research on the Sahaba and the list of them, similarly Tabi'een or Tabi'een, they have come to this consensus that there are two individuals that have, there is a claim that comes from India that Sarbata Qanuj, from the king of Qanuj, and the Ratan Hindi, or also called Baba Ratan Hindi. These two people were companions of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In fact, the person who is known by the name of Baba Ratan, there is a hadith compilation which is called Majmu'a al-Rataniyat, which is, it is said that it is composed by this individual, Baba Ratan, and it has several different hadiths in it that he narrates from Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, let's start looking at the historical evidences, or those people who are authority in this area. Ibn Athir. There's Ibn Kathir and there is Ibn Athir. These are two different people. Ibn Athir in Ustul Ghabba, where he made an entire list of the companions of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Ibn Hajar Asqalani in Asaba, they mention Sarbatak, and Ibn Hajar says that Sarbatak's da'wah, or this claim that he is a companion of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is not true. Is not true. This individual might have existed at some point in time in the Indian history after the coming of the Islam, after Muslims started coming to India and started spreading around in India, but his claim of being a companion is not correct. And Abu Musa, Ishaq bin Ibrahim Tusi, he narrates it from Ibrahim bin Ishaq bin Ibrahim Tusi, that when I went to India, when I went to Hind, rather I should say the word Hind, because India is a much modern terminology, but just so that you understand from the modern terminology, Hind or India. So I went to the Raja Sarbatak of Qanouj. There is a city of Qanouj where I saw him. I asked him, how old are you? He told me that I am 725 years old. 725 years old. Wow. And he said that Prophet ﷺ sent to me a companion by the name of Huzaifa, another companion by the name of Usama, another companion by the name of Suhaib, and they called me towards Islam and I accepted it. And then Abu Hatim, Ahmed bin Hamid Balawi, through his lineage, Abu Sa'id Muzaffar bin Asad Hanafi, he reports that سمعت, that I heard Sarbatak al-Hindi, that he said that رأيت محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم مرتين, that I saw Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم 2 times, بمكة وبالمدينة مرة. I saw him once, I saw him 2 times in Mecca, and I saw him 1 time in Medina, and you among all the humans was the best, and your height was not too tall, not too short. And Ibn Hajar Asqalani rahimahullah narrates after this particular narration, he reports, or he states rather, Hafiz Zahabi's statement or qawl, قال الذهبي في التجريد, that الذهبي says in تجريد أسماء الصحابة, that هذا كذب, this is a lie. واضح. وقد عذر ابن الأثير ابن مندة في تركه إخراجه. And Ibn Athir and Ibn Munda, they never mention anything like that. And then after that he wrote that in 333 years after the Prophet ﷺ coming to Medina, so in the 333rd year or Hijrah, Sarbatak died, and it is reported at probably at this time, if his claims are true, he must have been 894 years old. And there is a local individual who wrote a book called Tazkirat al-Mawdu'at. Local means local to modern day India, Gujarat. There is a province in India called Gujarat. This individual's name is Allama Muhammad Tahir Gujarati. And he wrote a book, Tazkirat al-Mawdu'at, and in which he writes Sarbatak among the Kadhabin, Mu'ammarin Kadhabin. He made a list of them and he put him in there. And then after that he reports the statement from Isaba. And similarly, Sahib Nuzhat al-Khawatir, he also reports it from Isaba. And then that he then after that writes through several different isnad of 3 individuals from Sindhi wal Hind, and he said that there might have been an individual by the name of Sarbatak. However, his claim of being a companion of Prophet ﷺ is a complete lie. And Hafiz ibn Hajar, now let's come to the other person. The Sarbatak's chapter is done. You understood what the people of knowledge in this particular regard has written about him. And Hafiz ibn Hajar in Isaba writes about Ratan Hindi. He says that he also claimed to be a companion. But ulama of Rijal and Tawarikh have totally denied these claims. They've completely denied his claims. In Nuzhatul Khawatir, it writes with the reference of Bahr al-Zakhar that Abu Rida Ratan, this person, Ratan, was actually from a province in Punjab, province of Punjab, which is in these times a split between Pakistan and India. Majority of the province of Punjab is in Pakistan. There is a percentage of that province is in India, which was then later on split further into different provinces so that they can never reunite again. There's an entire political history behind it. We're not going to go into that today. So anyway, So he is from the province of Punjab. There is a city called Bhatinda. He's from the Bhatinda city. That's where he was born. And then when he reached a certain age, he started roaming around looking for somebody who can guide him towards the right path. And then in these, while he was in search, he heard about a man by the name of Muhammad in Mecca. And he is, or in Arab, and he's calling people towards one God. So upon hearing that, he traveled all the way to Mecca, and then he came and went in the presence of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he accepted Islam. And after that, he came back to India, and then he stayed. He stayed alive for 600 years after that. I mean, this is another one of those stories. The other guy lived to an age of almost 894 years, and this person 600 years or more. Some people say lived more than 600 years. And then he composed Al-Risala Al-Rataniya, or Rataniyat is another word for it, Al-Risala Al-Rataniya, and he narrates several hadith in it, and not a single hadith has a sanad. Not a single hadith has any chain of narration. It's just like Qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and then he narrates it. Sheikh Alauddin Samnai, and then similarly Muhammad Parsa, Sheikh Radiuddin, many different mashayikh said that there might be a person by the name of Ratan Hindi who would have lived in India, or Baba Ratan Hindi, and he died 600 years after Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this person, there is a grave in Bhatinda, claimed to be the grave of this individual. Sheikh Salahuddin Safti and Sheikh Majaluddin Firozabadi writes in, who is basically Sahib Qamus, he writes about Ratan Hindi, that Ratan Hindi might have existed as an individual, and then, but his claims of being a companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he writes, Allama Dhahabi rahimahullah has totally denied it. And then the Feroz Abadi writes that I have been to the country of Ratan Hindi, which is Punjab, and in Punjab, the city of Bhatinda. And then he says that this person by the name of Baba Ratan Hindi, his stories have been passing on from generation after generation after generation. And it is also stated that Ratan Hindi in his book has compiled more than 300 ahadith. But the problem is, when you start studying these ahadith, anybody with knowledge, anybody with little bit of knowledge of hadith will say, this is nothing but nonsense. This is, I mean, like it's a compilation, probably that was put together or was made up compilations. That's what it's stated by these people who studied that book, who looked at those books, and then looked at the narrations, and these are the ulama. I'm not talking about my opinion. I'm talking about these individuals who are ulama, and a lot of them that have quoted in the end are from that region, who have quoted Allama Dhahabi. And also the historians and the ulama who do a great deal of work in Al-Rijal, they said that Abu Tufail Amir bin Wathila radiyallahu anhu was the last companion who passed away in 110th Hijrah, according to the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ also, which is towards the end, before his demise, before he's passing away, that within 100 years, there will not be anybody alive who has seen me from my companions. And that's exactly what happened, is that these people who have claims of being living, 600, 700, 100 years after Prophet ﷺ, all of those claims just go to waste when we see this hadith. And then Prophet ﷺ clearly said, probably like 1 month before he passed away, that anybody who is alive today will not be alive within 100 years from now. So all of these claims about Sarbatak or Baba Ratan Hindi, and claims that these are the companions of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to muhaddithin, to mu'arrikhin, to historians, to the people of hadith, the ulama of rijal, jarh wa ta'deel. All of these people have completely denied all of these claims. And anyway, so I just wanted to put this research in front of you. I know there are some stories that have come our way, or some comments that have come our way on this channel about presence of somebody in modern-day Kerala, and there's a masjid that is built over there, and there are a lot of claims attached to that as well, and we would like to look into that also, inshallah, next time. But we also want to look at some other things in this journey that we are having. So there are things that we are talking about here that have evidences, historical evidences, that we've found in the books written by ulama, scholars. And in the meanwhile, we're also looking into things that have been going on forever, but we don't find much evidence. We will not gonna buy into it just because it's been going on forever. So that's why it's very important for you, for me, to put in front of you the research that I have found with evidences. And these are not my statements. These are not my claims. These are the statements made by the ulama. So this is nothing personal. Anyway, we'll see you inshallah next time. Till then, assalamu alaikum.